Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Monday. How are we all doing today?
Good.
Good. It's a beautiful day. I'm Susan Doyle from Oasis Senior Advisors, and today you're coming to my kitchen. This is my kitchen. And we're going to be doing this program called the Downsized Gourmet. We've been doing this virtually for the last few months for some of the senior centers. And basically the premise is it's hard to cook for one or two, and we're going to try and make it as easy as possible, right? So who am I? Why do you get the pleasure of having me in your house today? So as I said, I'm Susan Doyle. My husband Paul and I, we have a company called Oasis Senior Advisors, and our what we do is we help people find senior living solutions. We know about the assisted livings, we know about options in the home. So if you know of anybody who's kind of having a difficult time right now, you can send them our way. We're completely free. But enough of who we are. We're going to get right into it. So you could feel free to use the chat function. Paul is actually monitoring the chats right now. And I'd ask you to just mute so that I can get through what we're going to be doing today. So what are we doing today? We're going to be talking about zucchini and tomatoes. Really exciting stuff, though.
I think
All right, I guess I need to start all over again. No?
there's no sound when you muted us. I think you muted
I
yourself.
was muted for a couple of seconds. So anyway, we're going to be working on zucchini and tomatoes. The gardens are just producing zucchini like crazy. One of my neighbors gave me one that was like this big, and I'm like, what am I going to do with something that big? So we're going to talk about zucchini in a second. But as I was looking through recipes, I found this really great one in the newspaper, and it's a zucchini tart, and that's what we're going to start with. All the ingredients I got from the grocery store or Stu Leonard's or Trader Joe's, my favorite place, to be honest. So with the tomato tart, you just start with a regular pie crust. I went to Stop and Shop, right? With this recipe, and don't worry, you're going to be getting all the recipes. I'm going to send them all to the senior center directors, and then you guys can get them. I just got one from Stop and Shop, popped it in the oven for 12 minutes, took it out, so it's a little cool right now. This recipe has tomatoes, mozzarella cheese, and some fresh herbs. So really what it asks me to do, I bought these really pretty tomatoes, they're multicolored, but really you can use whatever you want. If you've got red ones, great. If you've got the heirlooms, yellows, it doesn't matter. Last week I made this with these little orange ones. I brought them over to my mom. She absolutely loved it. So it really doesn't matter. If you have a tomato that's very watery, they tell you to cut it in half and just drain it in a colander for a little while to get some of that moisture out. So just to kind of save time, I cut my tomatoes already. It's said to use about 4 medium tomatoes. You could do, you know, you'll see what you need. As I said, I cooked this already. And first thing they tell you to do is put pesto sauce on there, because what's great with tomatoes is basil. So my favorite pesto that I get is from Stu Leonard's. It's really good. It's not too cheesy. Very little nuts. You can also make your own. Very, very easy to do. Making pesto, people tend to be a little intimidated by it, but you shouldn't be. So they tell you to put about a 1/4 cup of pesto sauce, and really that's just to kind of, you want to spread it all around, right? Don't forget the sides. Don't want to ever forget the sides. And let's see, we'll do that. Just kind of get it all around, right? Just like that. This is super easy. And then the next thing they tell us to do is to place mozzarella. You need some shredded mozzarella. I just, you just get a wedge of it, about maybe, I don't know, a 1/4 of it. And I used my shredder. I shredded it earlier, so you shred, right? Or just buy the pre-shredded one at the grocery store, whatever works. And you place it down here, just right on top of the pesto. Kind of spread it all around. Okay. And then they tell you in this recipe, fresh basil and fresh oregano if you have it. It's growing like weeds in my backyard right now. So I washed it before, and I'm just going to do a nice chop, right? Very, very easy. Don't cut your finger. Please don't cut your finger. And so chop, chop, chop. And then what we're going to do is throw it right on top. So it looks very pretty. And then we're going to place the tomatoes on top of it. I'm thinking, okay, what about the eggs? Because yes, this is eggs in it. We do the eggs last. So we just make it, nice and pretty. My mother always says presentation is so important. You want to make things colorful. Hence, this is why I put different colored tomatoes. But you can see how much it's going to take. I don't know how many of these. I probably had about 8 of these little tomatoes, maybe 10. If you cut too many, you eat them. No. Simple like that. So that looks pretty, that looks very pretty. So then we want to make the custard. So with this, 3 eggs, regular large eggs, and we're going to crack. One. Let's hope I don't get any shells in here. 2 and 3. Okay. And also, you can't just have eggs. You got to put, whenever you do a tart, you put some heavy cream in it. And this calls for 1/3 cup of heavy cream. And I was at Trader Joe's yesterday, so I just grabbed it. This is a little big, but they have the smaller ones. And 1/3, just stick that in there. And then, whoops, things going all over the place here. And then some salt and pepper to taste. You don't want to put too much salt in it. Less is more, right? So a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. It's just some kosher salt. Just take a pinch if you want. And then I just mix, right? Mix. So that, can you see that? It's just nicely mixed. And then we just pour it right on top. Now, how easy is that? Pop it in the oven, 350 degrees for 35 minutes. And yes, you will see it. So let's see, time 35. All right, so enough of tomatoes. So zucchini, why are they so good for you? I was amazed on the benefits of zucchini. Believe it or not, it reduces blood sugar. It's really good for your vision because it has lots of vitamin C and beta carotene in it. Good for your heart because there's pectin in it. And really good for digestion because it has a high water content. Zucchini has a very high water content. It softens your stools naturally, believe it or not. It's a really good form of antioxidants, and also, which I was so very, very surprised, that if you suffer from asthma, this can be really helpful. Zucchini can be very helpful because of the vitamin C, and there's copper in it. So I thought that was really, really interesting. So with zucchini, gosh, you could get bored of frying it and just sauteing it. My brother-in-law, Mike Hayes, he makes the most awesome zucchini pie. And my mother, whenever he makes it, she goes crazy. Carrie, can you mute, please? So first thing we're gonna do, you can put it in just a regular pan like this. This is almost like a brownie pan, or even a little bigger, like an 11 by 8 or 10 by 7. But, really, a lot, spray it like crazy. Just cooking spray. We're gonna spray that. So this one's really, really easy because we are going to chop the zucchini. Okay, so we're going, oops, there goes my eggs. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hope that my eggs don't crack. That's the first thing we're going to do. So this recipe calls for you peeling and chopping the zucchini, right? So I just have my trusty little peeler. And peel both of them, and then we're going to chop it. You know, I did this the other day. I just used one. I think 2 is better. It just gives you a little bit more flavor, but if you only have one, that's fine. We're going to cut the ends off because we don't want them. And then just when you chop, I can't see myself, we're going to cut it in half down the center, and then cut it down the center again. And then we're going to chop it again. Very simple. So what goes really well with zucchini is onions. And so we're going to be putting onions in here too. So I'm going to make a little mess here, but that's okay. And as it, so I'm just going to, I should have chopped this ahead of time, but that's okay. So all of this is chopped. 1, 2, 3. Okay. This calls for 4 eggs. So I'm going to just crack them right now. 1, 2. Yes, I have a garbage pail down there. I'm not throwing it onto the floor. So we're just going to beat them a little bit, right? Just kind of mix them up. Plop my zucchini right in there. This is so simple. It's 1 bowl. I mean, that's my favorite type of recipe is 1 bowl. I don't want to be cleaning up multiple bowls. See, we got that. And then 1 onion. I chopped it. We're going to chop it, just chop it normally. I don't feel like chopping it right now because I don't want to cry in front of everybody. But I chopped, this was the onion that was this size, nice size onion, medium size. And you just put that right in. Now, who remembers Bisquick? Do we still use Bisquick? I love Bisquick. This is like the best thing in the world, best ingredient. So it calls for 1 cup of Bisquick. I remember making chicken pot pie. They had the best recipe on the back of these boxes. Now they just have pancake recipes on the back now, but I remember I used to make this awesome chicken pot pie. Oops, maybe I'll do that for you guys someday too. So we just add 1 cup of Bisquick, and then it calls for grated cheese. I like grated Romano. I get this at the Italian deli, but you can go into the grocery store. Grated Romano or Parmesan. Calls for 1/2 cup. You really don't have to add salt to this because the grated cheese has a lot of salt in it. But if you want to, go for it. And then it calls for, this is fresh parsley. that I grabbed from my garden. So it's about 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley. That would be about, if you use dry, 2 teaspoons. You just want to add green to it. If you don't have that, if you wanted to use Italian seasonings, that's fine. It really, really doesn't matter. So we're going to just do a nice quick chop and throw this all in together. Now, did I forget anything? Nope. And you could, it says a little bit of salt, a half a teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to do a pinch. You really don't need it because, as I said, you've got the cheese in it, and that gives it enough flavor. So now we're just going to mix it all up and combine it, right? And mix, mix, mix. This is a lot bigger. The beauty of this, so I made this the other day, you could put, if you make too much of it, you can put it in the freezer, which is nice. You know what, I'm gonna put this in a larger pan today, I've decided. Because I made it a bigger recipe and I'm bringing some to my mom, because we're gonna end up eating this later. Yeah, I'm gonna go see my mother tomorrow, and she, as I said, she loves this stuff. It's just, oh my gosh, so does my dad. My mom is 83, my dad is 90, and they live on Long Island, and on Tuesdays I go and see them. So they're gonna be nice and happy and full. So this goes right in the oven, 350 degrees for 35 minutes. Very simple. So that one has another 27. Okay. So we're done with that. One of the other things that I found, I was actually going to make something else, but I was at the doctor with my mom last week, and I was talking to the nurse, and she's like, oh my gosh, zucchini fritters. And I thought, oh my, that sounds incredible. So as a result, that's what we're making today, are zucchini fritters. I don't know if anybody has ever had them before, but I tried this out yesterday, and they are delicious. And they're even better the next day. It's almost like a tater tot, or like it almost looks like a potato pancake. You know what I mean, okay? So, sorry, I'm walking away. Okay, so with the fritters, you're not going to chop the zucchini, you're going to shred it. Now, when you shred it, you also want to get the water out of it. Because as I said, zucchini is like cucumbers. They have so much water in it. And when you make something like a fritter, you want to extract it. So I shredded this one earlier, and I'm going to add a little bit to it now. But I don't know if you can see this. This was one zucchini. I don't know, can you see all that liquid? I mean, there's a lot of liquid, and that was just one zucchini that was about this big. So with this recipe, they tell you to shred it and add salt to it. Why do you add salt to it? The salt really helps extract the moisture from it. So you shred it, you put it in a colander, and you let it sit for a little while. And then they also say, put it in some cheesecloth. My grandmother used to get cheesecloth all the time. I never, for the life of me, understood what she used it for, but now I do. It's like the best thing. I put my zucchini in there, and then, look at all this. I don't know, can you see this? Can you see all this liquid coming out of it? There's so much liquid coming out of it. And so you just squeeze it. I don't know if you can see it in the bowl, how much liquid. That was just one zucchini. So then you can take it out of the cheesecloth, right? And it's one little mound. So I'm just going to show you quickly how I shred it. Get rid of that zucchini water. And with this, you do not have to peel it. Actually, the green is good. Green is good. And I just have a regular shredder, and I use the larger side. Very simple, just like this. This recipe calls for 1 to 2 zucchini. Once again, it's all a matter of taste. When I did it, when I made them yesterday, I used 1, and I figured the next time I did it, I might use a little more, but it doesn't matter, you'll see. So, I'm not gonna do the whole thing, but you shred your zucchini, you add about a teaspoon of salt to it, which is salt. You throw it in, you mix it around, and you let it sit for about 10 minutes, and then you put it in the cheesecloth and you squeeze it. So that's what I did earlier with this, okay? So I'm just gonna put that in the back right now. So with this recipe, simple, simple, simple. It's zucchini. Well, actually, for this one, it calls for flour, grated cheese, egg, garlic, and salt and pepper. Very, very simple. So we're gonna get my flour, and it's not that much either. I mean, this recipe probably makes about 8 fritters. Depends on what size you use, right? So this calls for a 1/4 cup of flour. Just regular all-purpose flour, nothing special. The same amount of grated cheese. Simple, simple. And then 1 egg. They want me to beat it first. Let's see. I need, I'll just stick it in here because this has the flour in it. Here we go. It all up. And it calls for a pinch of salt. I just love these recipes, a pinch of salt. What is a pinch of salt? A pinch of salt, you put it in your hand, you pinch it. That's it. Once again, less is more. Here's my pepper. I mean, I've got a grinder, but you could just, use your pepper. I mean, this is a pepper mill, but just use your regular pepper. It says to taste, a 1/4 teaspoon is probably enough. And it also wants us to put in 2 cloves of garlic, right? This is a head of garlic, so I took 2 cloves of this off earlier, okay? It was so funny. My son called me. He's at University of South Carolina, and he's like, "Mom, I have to get some garlic." And I said, "Okay, go get a head." And he says, "Well, it calls for like 2 cloves. Do I need 2 of these things?" I said, "No, you take the cloves off, honey." And so we FaceTimed, and I showed him how to do that. So it was really cute. We want to mince it. So I'm going to cut the ends off the garlic clove. I take my hand and I smash it. Because this way it's a lot easier to get the paper off. I don't know if you've ever tried to peel the paper off. It's a pain in the neck. But if you cut the ends off of the garlic and you smash it a little bit, it comes off much easier. So you don't have smelly garlicky hands. I have a garlic press. If you don't have fresh garlic, yes, of course, you can use garlic powder. I wouldn't use garlic salt, garlic powder. I just squeeze them right in. And then we're going to mix it up. Okay, just going to mix it up. And then we're going to add the zucchini. And it's like a paste almost. You know, let's say, I don't think I would do another one. This looks pretty good. Actually, it looks very good, not pretty good. Now, if you like onions, you could cut up some scallions, right? Just like the white parts of the scallions, you could add that. That would be really, really good. I didn't do that, but that would be delicious. So, okay, now that we have this paste, what do we do with it? We fry them, of course. Frying's delicious. So I've got just a basic frying pan, and I'm going to heat that up. And I'm going to put in, it says 2 tablespoons of oil. So, you know, Rachel Ray goes, okay, once around, right? You want to just make sure that the pan is covered, right? Heat that up. And once you plop them in, it's about 2 minutes on each side. I'm going to need to get a plate to put these on. I have this. So, let's put this in. That feels hot already. Tablespoon size. In. You can hear it sizzling. I wish you were here. Gosh, it smells so good in this house. I gotta tell you. 2, 3. These are best when you eat them hot. If they do cool down, you might want to just heat up the oven real fast. Once again, I'm going to be sending these recipes out to the directors, and this way they can shoot them out to you. So, getting directions to tilt my pan, but if I tilt my pan, my fritters go flying. I don't know, can you see that? I'm going to lower it a little bit. So they look like little blobs right now, but don't worry. They're going to be really, really good. So, so while these are cooking, I don't know if you can see what's right in front. I'm not going to make the zucchini walnut bread today because it takes about an hour just with cooking and everything. I made this last week, brought some to my parents. It is to die for. I'm going to give you the recipe. I'll kind of quickly go through it. I can't believe how delicious it is. It's the recipe that I have makes 2 zucchini loaves. So really, really amazing. So you can make one and then stick one in the freezer for another time. I'm going to flip this real fast, and then I can this over. So I don't know, can you see that? See, they're nice and golden brown. And when I flip them, then I just kind of take my spatula and I flatten it out a little bit. These go very, very quick. So as I say, I push them down so that they can be nice and crispy all around. Let's see, what does my tart look like right now? Yes, oh my gosh, it looks good. All right, that is another 15 minutes to go. So I'm going to put a little bit of paper towel down. If you have like a wire rack, that would be even better. I don't have one. When my mom makes cookies, she always takes them out and then puts them on a wire rack. This way the oil can drain. I don't have one, so I need to go buy one. Maybe my mom will give me hers. Probably not. She's too busy making cookies for the grandkids and the great-grandkids, right? So I'm just flipping this over one more time, and they're basically done. And what do you serve them with? Gosh, whatever you want. I'm going to bring these over to my mom tomorrow, unless Paul eats them all. I probably will probably make them fresh. Because when I told her about this, she's like, oh man, you got to bring them to my house. I said, okay. So applesauce, maybe a little bit of sour cream. That would be delicious. And I said they're really good for you. You can see what went into them. So, and they really are very pretty. I mean, the green and the cheese. Gosh. Turn it off because it's getting very hot in here. So, those are my zucchini fritters. Absolutely yummy. I'll finish making them later on. So, I've got another 15 minutes. Oh man, but it's looking good. I'm going to show you what this looks like. It does, I think this is going to go a little bit faster. I decided, let me try and, I have a convection oven, which cooks things a lot faster, but I think this probably just needs another couple of minutes, but do you see this? It's absolutely beautiful. That's the tomato pesto tart. You know what, I think it is. I'm just gonna stick it back in there for a few more minutes. So yeah, so this was the zucchini bread that I made last week, and I really did. I just stuck it in the freezer, and I mean, this is perfect. It's perfect. I couldn't believe how easy it is. Yes, I'm a baker, but I don't make anything crazy. So with this, it's just flour, salt, baking soda, baking powder, cinnamon, eggs, oil, sugar, vanilla extract, walnuts, chopped walnuts, and 2 grated zucchini. Now this recipe, you don't want to squeeze out the moisture, right? When you grate the zucchini, it goes right in to the batter because you want it to be nice and moist, right? You don't want like dry zucchini bread. Who's ever had dry zucchini bread? Not that great. This stuff is super, super moist. And once again, I'll be sending you guys the recipe, and it's simple. It's delicious. So I can't believe I actually flew through all of this. Do you have any questions on anything that I made? You can unmute yourself. Let's chat. You know what I want to know? Where's everyone from? What senior centers? Can you just give me any kind of an idea?
New Fairfield.
Trumbull.
Can you unmute?
Trumbull. Trumbull.
So I understand, Paul was just telling me that we have Trumbull, Fairfield, right? Westport, where else? New Fairfield.
New Fairfield, yeah.
Oh, Fairfield and New Fairfield. I also said Trumbull. Stanford has joined us too.
Brookfield.
Wow. At Brookfield?
Yes.
That's wonderful. Oh, so nice to have everybody in my kitchen. But do you have any questions about anything that I've put together, or what I've made, or anything?
Just the
I
comment.
can't hear it. You're muted.
I wish
You
your
unmute?
picture was bigger because it's hard to see things up close.
You're muted.
I heard her.
Oh, sorry. I wish the picture was bigger too. That's the problems with Zoom,
Yeah.
right?
No, it is big. You just have to hit gallery view because you are spotlighted, Susan.
There's Gina.
What does that mean?
Why can't I hear?
That's a Zoom
The
challenge.
reason why I can't hear. All right, so Paul's gonna, I'm having some technical difficulties. Please stand by.
No.
No, you're good.
You're doing fine.
You're good.
Thank you for
Oh,
the
gosh.
program. Thanks.
I can't hear. Just give me 1 minute. Or just. It's very
I'm
quiet in my house.
hungry.
You want My speakers aren't working. Oh, no.
Well, we can hear you.
Program.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Maybe she just can't hear us.
It's definitely a learning curve with the Zoom.
Anything
Zoom's
with the
wonderful.
computer.
Technology is wonderful, except when when we have sound problems. Can you help me out, Paul? Okay. So just give me a couple of minutes. We're trying to figure out why I can't hear anything. So, what does it mean? Huh? So Paul can hear, but I can't. So if you could ask questions, and then I'll respond, because you can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Was the pie crust pre-cooked on the tomato pie? I missed that part.
Was it?
No, I don't think so.
No. Okay.
Give me 1 second. Never had these problems before, but that's okay. We'll figure it out together. One more time. Could you question
hear
again?
me? Can you hear me? No? No.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, the question was the crust, was that pre-made?
Pre-baked.
Pre-baked.
Before you put the
Yeah,
filling.
so with the, yes, I pre-baked the crust. I got the, you could make your own dough if you wanted to. I went to Stop and Shop. I bought the crust there in the frozen food section, and I baked it in the oven as per the directions, right? It said, you defrost it, you let it thaw, you put it in the oven at 375 for 10 to 12 minutes. Make sure you prick it first, because otherwise it starts to expand, which you don't want. And then you take it out and you let it cool, and then you can start assembling the tart. I'm going to take it out because
Makes
I think
sense.
it's done.
Yeah.
I don't want it to
I
burn.
did not think it was
1 second.
pre-baked.
Yeah, this is definitely done.
I'm glad that person asked that.
So, that is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Just stick that right there. Let's see. That's so the zucchini
Oh, that
pie
looks
is
good.
taking a lot longer.
Yeah.
I also made that the other day. This is what it looks like. This is just a piece. We're having this for lunch today. Actually, we're having both. But, I hear. That's yours. And it's just, I'm gonna heat it up in the oven. I mean, you could heat it up in the microwave if you wanted to. I just like it to be a little crispy around the outside.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, so this is the Mike's zucchini pie. He'll be embarrassed and impressed that I named it after him.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother-in-law, he's a great guy. He does that. My sister works. He's retired right now, and so he does all the cooking. He's got some really great recipes. So,
Oh.
now I can hear you. Yay!
It's delicious, all of it.
Mhm.
I'm glad
Where
I
do
ate my lunch while I was watching because it would make me hungry.
I know. I can't wait to eat. They said I'm bringing it to my parents tomorrow, and this is lunch. So, because we're empty nesters, all the kids. 3 of our kids moved out, and 1 is down in college. So I make all this food, and who's going to eat it? We just get fatter and fatter.
Where do you live? We'll come over.
Oh. I actually live in Westchester County, so Lower Westchester.
Oh.
Yeah, so our business.
Not that far away.
No.
Yeah,
We know
I
West.
stay for a ride.
We can get it.
I know you can get there. It's really easy. It's right off the Bronx River Park, between the Bronx River Parkway and the Hutch, which is the Merrick.
Yeah. I know where that is.
Oh, well, come on over. We got plenty.
You'll be sorry.
Never sorry. I love to. Just bring your mask. We're pretty good. We can sit outside on the deck and have social distance dining. How about that?
Lovely. Sounds good.
I
Sounds
wanted
good.
to ask if you remember when you were talking about Bisquick, all the Bisquick impossible pies that were very popular.
Oh, delicious. Yeah, the cheeseburger pie.
The quiche, the spinach, the coconut.
Yes, everything. And as I said, I was talking to Paul. I remember when we were newly married and I made the chicken pot pie, which was like the easiest thing in the world. I think it was it's like cream of mushroom soup, chicken, frozen vegetables, Bisquick, and you threw it in the oven and boom, it was done. It was so, so good.
I no longer have your picture on my Zoom.
Okay, so someone's sharing their screen. Let me see who it is. And I think they're sending, who is this?
Mary.
Mary Hogue, you shared your screen. Oh, Steve is, okay. I see someone's email. Someone's going through their Gmail. So if you could unshare your screen.
Oh. I was,
Now we're on Facebook.
oh my God.
So if you go down to at the bottom of your screen where it says share screen, can you unshare, please? That would be great.
Oh my God. Who did that?
It's pretty.
It's very pretty umbrellas. Yes, very.
Your screen share. Oh, stop share. Okay.
Oh, perfect. Thank
There
you.
we
Thank
go.
you. Thank you.
Sorry.
So,
So we just leave now, right?
oh man.
Oh, stop. You're killing me.
But you saw how easy it is to make.
It's happening again.
All right.
Oh,
Someone,
well.
whoever owner is, can't you put, yeah, whoever owner is, can you,
One of the senior centers, probably, no?
yeah,
Oh, maybe.
Janet?
one, multiple.
That's ours. Yeah.
Well, we can chat. Oh, these are really good today.
Oh, will you stop?
I'm hungry.
Okay.
Oh my
I
God.
haven't had lunch.
Before we go, I would just like you to teach us that chicken pot pie
Oh,
at some
God.
point.
Would you
Yeah.
send that with the other
You
recipe?
know what? Yeah, I will. I gotta go look that one up. It was so
Oh,
good.
how are you sending the
Thank you.
recipes? I'd missed that.
So what I'll do is I'll send the recipes to the senior center directors, and then they can shoot them out to you guys. Unless if you wanted to put your email in the chat, then we can send it to you directly. Whatever. Oh yeah.
You're
But
back.
but we'll send them to the senior centers, and then
Okay.
they can send them to whoever they want to.
Mhm.
Okay.
Wonderful.
All right.
Mhm.
Anything else I can? What about? So we do these every month. Believe it or not, we've been doing them since when did we do our first one? June, July, whatever.
Oh, gee, I missed them.
Yeah. Well, where are you from?
New Fairfield.
Oh, great. Well, this is the first time that you guys are joining us, so we'll make sure that we send the Zoom invite for next month too.
Okay, great. Mhm.
If you,
Hi, Gloria.
Hi, Anne.
I was thinking
my first
apples
time.
next month. What do you think?
Sounds
Apples,
good.
pumpkin, I don't know. Give me some ideas.
Hmm.
Do you have any thoughts?
Anything with fall vegetables,
Yes.
perhaps.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
And then an apple dessert and apple fritters wouldn't be bad either.
My mother makes the world's best apple crisp. I wish you could see my mother.
Oh, that would be nice.
It
Yeah,
is
that would be good.
spectacular. It is so easy. She started making it with peaches.
Ooh.
And when I was there last week, oh my, I'm salivating just thinking about it. It's so, and I said, so where'd you get this recipe, Mom? She said, I made it up. So now I need to sit with her, and because my mom, wonderful cook, couldn't boil water when she got married 62 years ago, but now she's, she makes all kinds of things, but she always holds 10% behind. So you have to sit and be there with her. And then those little details.
Yeah.
Even my kids are like that 10%, that 10%. But anyway.
Okay.
My mother used to make the little blue plum pies.
Oh,
They're out now.
oh, that sounds delicious.
Yeah. Would it be too late to do something like that next month?
Probably.
I could try. Are plums still gonna be
Well,
really?
they're the little blue plums. They're small. They only
They're
come
like a
out
prune
time of
plum,
year.
I think they're
Yeah.
called, or Italian plums.
Oh yeah. You know, also, figs. I have believe it or not, I have a fig tree in my backyard,
Oh.
and it hasn't produced in years. Now it's gone crazy. People are like, oh, do you cover it? I'm like, no, I do nothing. This thing will not die. This fig tree just will not die. It's unusual in the world. So hopefully, if I get a harvest, we're gonna do something with figs too. We'll see.
Do you have anything with pears? I've got a whole bunch of pears right now.
I mean, you know what? I'll do a little bit of research. You could always make applesauce, pear sauce.
Really?
A
Yeah,
pear cobbler is good too.
pear
Pear
cobbler.
cobbler, there's a good
Yeah,
thought.
There's the pie.
roast them.
These are fritters.
I can, I'll do some.
That
I'll
was
do a little research. We'll talk about
things
the.
like
You know what?
this.
I'll do something with like the fall fruits and veggies.
Zucchini.
Okay, lovely. That would be
That's
great.
great.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. It is a gorgeous,
Cheese,
gorgeous, gorgeous day.
not for bread.
Perfect.
Try and get outside and
Trying to bake it.
enjoy the fresh air. Please wear your masks.
Yes.
Social
Okay.
distance.
Thank you very much.
You're
The man
welcome.
is
Stay
there.
well. Be
You
careful.
too.
Hear from
And
like 5 different.
Thank
for joining
you.
us.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much.
Bye, Ann.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Oh, goodbye, Gloria.
Bye, Ann.
If you want to stay on a chat for a couple minutes, that's fine.
Oh, well, too late now.
Well, it's
No, I'm
nice to
still
meet
on.
everybody
Oh,
from the different centers. It's nice.
yeah,
to
that's
see
great.
people.
There
And-
are
And you
people
and I
out
aren't
there.
that far apart. If you're in New Fairfield and I'm in, or it says Danbury near your name,
Oh, yeah, I live in Danbury, but I go to the New
New
Fairfield
Fairfield.
Senior Center.
So Fairfield, New Fair. I mean, it's so many people go to different centers like
Oh.
Newtown and Brookfield and New Milford and New Fairfield, and they go to more than one.
Oh, that sounds complicated to me.
Yeah, I deal with one. That's
Yeah.
about it.
That's about me too. There's enough going on in ours that, even with all this pandemic and things, that we are together in
Yeah.
one another. It's great.
It
This
is,
Zoom
and it's a
thing
good
is great.
support.
I have so many friends that don't want to go on Zoom, and it's, I don't know what they're afraid of. It's easy. And it is a way of communicating with people, that you don't see normally.
Yeah, yeah. I said to the phone is number, the first line.
Yeah,
Zoom is better because you can see somebody,
right, exactly. Yeah.
and it makes it a little bit more personal, I think, or
Well, it's like being
normal?
together. Yeah, normal. Normal.
whatever that is.
This too shall pass.
Yes, we just have to.
It'll,
Alright, so we're gonna.
okay. Uh-oh.
We're gonna let you go. Thank
All
you.
right.
I'm-
Thanks.
We're all loving your kitchen counter and the bread and all the goodies.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, it's so, I'm getting full,
Oh, wouldn't that be nice if we could just look at it and get full?
So we
No
used to do
calories.
these in person, but now, everything's closed.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
at least
That's
you
all
get
right.
to see, right?
It's
Oh,
a
this
choice.
is great. This is great.
Again, thank you.
Oh,
Yes.
my pleasure.
Thank
Stay
you very
well.
much.
Bye, everybody.
Stay well.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Susan. Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.